The European Union, its roots after World War II, its future, and the potential for a United States of Europe. The European Union, EU, stands as one of the most ambitious and successful political and economic projects in modern history. Born out of the ashes of World War II, the EU was designed to foster peace, stability, and prosperity among European nations that had been ravaged by centuries of conflict. Over the decades, it has evolved into a unique supranational entity, integrating member states economically, politically, and socially. However, as the EU faces new challenges in the 21st century, questions arise about its future trajectory and the possibility of a United States of Europe. This essay explores the roots of the EU, its evolution, and the potential for deeper integration, while examining the feasibility of a federal Europe. Now, before we move on, please help a small channel grow. Please like and subscribe. If you have any comments, good or bad, leave them below. Back to the story. The roots of the European Union after World War II. The devastation of World War II left Europe in ruins, with millions dead, economies shattered, and political systems in disarray. The war exposed the dangers of nationalism and the fragility of peace in a continent divided by borders and rivalries. In this context, European leaders sought a new framework to prevent future conflicts and promote cooperation. The idea of European integration was not new. Thinkers like Victor Hugo had envisioned a United States of Europe in the 19th century, but the post-war period provided the impetus for concrete action. The first step toward integration came with the Schuman Declaration of 1950, proposed by French Foreign Minister Robert Schuman. Inspired by Jean Monnet, a French economist and diplomat, the declaration called for the pooling of coal and steel production under a common authority. This led to the creation of the European Coal and Steel Community, ECSC, in 1951, with 6 founding members: France, West Germany, Italy, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. The ECSC was designed to make war between France and Germany not merely unthinkable, but materially impossible by intertwining their key industries. The success of the ECSC paved the way for further integration. In 1957, the same 6 countries signed the Treaties of Rome, establishing the European Economic Community, EEC, and the European Atomic Energy Community, Euratom. The EEC aimed to create a common market, eliminating trade barriers and fostering economic cooperation. Over time, the EEC expanded its membership and scope, evolving into the European Union, EU, with the signing of the Maastricht Treaty in 1992. The evolution of the European Union. Since its inception, the EU has undergone significant transformations, both in terms of its membership and its institutional framework. The original 6 members have grown to 27, as of 2023, following Brexit, encompassing much of Western, Central, and Eastern Europe. The EU has also expanded its competencies, moving beyond economic integration to address issues such as environmental protection, human rights, and foreign policy. Key milestones in the EU's evolution include: 1. The Single Market, 1993. The creation of a single market allowed for the free movement of goods, services, capital, and people, fostering economic growth and integration. 2. The Euro, 1999. The introduction of the euro as a common currency for 19 member states, as of 2023, symbolized a deepening of economic and monetary union. 3. The Schengen Area, 1985. The Schengen Agreement abolished border controls between participating countries, facilitating travel and trade. 4. The Lisbon Treaty, 2009. This treaty reformed the EU's institutional structure, enhancing the role of the European Parliament and creating the position of President of the European Council. Despite these achievements, the EU has faced numerous challenges, including the Eurozone crisis, the migration crisis, Brexit, and the rise of populist and Eurosceptic movements. These challenges have tested the resilience of the EU and raised questions about its future direction. The future of the European Union, challenges and opportunities. The EU's future is shaped by both internal and external factors. Internally, the EU must address issues such as democratic accountability, economic disparities between member states, and the rise of nationalism. Externally, it faces a rapidly changing global landscape characterized by geopolitical competition, climate change, and technological disruption. 1. Democratic accountability. Critics argue that the EU suffers from a democratic deficit, with decision-making processes perceived as opaque and distant from citizens. Addressing this issue requires greater transparency and citizen engagement. 2. Economic disparities. The Eurozone crisis exposed the economic imbalances between member states, particularly between the wealthier North and the struggling South. Strengthening economic governance and solidarity is essential for the EU's stability. 3. Nationalism and populism. The rise of nationalist and populist movements threatens the EU's cohesion. These movements often exploit public dissatisfaction with globalization and immigration, challenging the EU's core values of openness and integration. 4. Global challenges. The EU must navigate a complex global environment, marked by the rise of China, the unpredictability of US foreign policy, and the need to address climate change. Strengthening the EU's role as a global actor is crucial. The potential for a United States of Europe. The idea of a United States of Europe has long been a topic of debate. Proponents argue that deeper integration, including a federal structure, would enhance the EU's ability to address common challenges and project power on the global stage. Critics, however, contend that such a move would undermine national sovereignty and exacerbate existing tensions. 1. Arguments for a United States of Europe. Enhanced global influence. A federal Europe could wield greater influence in international affairs, rivaling the United States and China. Economic stability. A unified fiscal and monetary policy could prevent future crises and promote sustainable growth. Cohesion and solidarity. A federal structure could foster a stronger sense of European identity and solidarity. 2. Arguments against a United States of Europe. Loss of sovereignty. Member states may be reluctant to cede further powers to a central authority, fearing a loss of control over their domestic affairs. Cultural and political diversity. Europe's diversity is both a strength and a challenge. A one-size-fits-all approach may not accommodate the varying needs and preferences of member states. Public opposition. Many Europeans remain attached to their national identities and are skeptical of further integration. Conclusion. The European Union has come a long way since its humble beginnings as a coal and steel community. It has achieved remarkable success in promoting peace, prosperity, and cooperation among its member states. However, the EU faces significant challenges as it looks to the future, from internal divisions to external pressures. The idea of a United States of Europe remains a compelling vision for some, but it is not without its obstacles. Ultimately, the EU's future will depend on its ability to balance unity and diversity, sovereignty and integration, and ambition and pragmatism. Whether or not a federal Europe becomes a reality, the EU will continue to play a central role in shaping the destiny of the continent. Please like and subscribe.